All right, everybody, got Rodney Crum on the phone with us right now. And Rodney Crum has a powerandnoisephoto.com website. So if you're at a poll and you hear the announcer say, hey, Rodney Crum, the guy down there in the purple shirt. Well, this is what I do, Rodney. The guy down there in the purple shirt, he's the one taking photos and he's doing live results. And anybody listening back home or watching back home, not listening, watching back home, they could be following along. Like, I was paying attention. Like, Rodney, we got rained out Saturday at Churning Dirt. I was bummed out. If we wouldn't have anything going on Sunday, we could have jumped in the toter, and Brent and I could have headed for Platte City, Missouri, because it started raining at about 10:30 Saturday morning, and it never stopped. But I was able to kind of follow along with our 4-1 class and, see how Brandon Coates was doing, a fellow Badger State poller, and I think Mr. Ruth won it down there. So I love it, Rodney, because I can't go to every Western Series poll or every poll that you cover. I mean, I know you do Outlaw, you cover NTPA, you do a little bit of everything, but I pay attention to my class, Rodney. So as a polling fan, I love it, so I can see what else the guys are doing, and it's immediate. And I think that's what you're doing for the polling world is great. And I want to introduce everybody to Rodney Crum and powerandnoisephoto.com. So how is Rodney Crum doing today?
Oh, I'm doing real good. Sitting here, I had a poll I was scheduled to go to tonight, but the weather looked like it probably rained this morning. They're probably still going to go ahead and have the poll, but I need to get caught up on pictures and getting some things updated on the website. So I took the day off, and I'll be back at it starting again tomorrow night.
Awesome. So where were you hoping to head to tonight?
I was going to go cover an ITPA event down at Waterloo, Illinois, and I believe it is still probably going to happen as far as I know at this point. But it just was not going to work out for me to get everything done, keep up with the website, and getting pictures sent out to customers, so I needed a day off.
No, everybody understands that. We know this isn't your full-time job. So, Rodney, where do you live, bud?
I live at Lomax, Illinois. It's basically west central Illinois, right where Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri come together on the Mississippi River.
Wow. So how far is that from like Richland Center when you come up to our pole?
Up to Richland Center, it's around a 4.5-hour drive. About 4.5 hours, I guess, up to your place.
Awesome. So what do you do? What's your real job when you're not pulling photos and doing live results and the website and stuff, Rodney? What do you do?
I've worked for a farmer full-time for almost 20 years now. About 4 years ago, I wanted to spend more time doing the truck and tractor pull photography and website business. So I went to part-time with him. Now I work just spring and fall, spring and harvest, planting and harvest. And if he needs help any other time, he gives me a call. And if I've got any free time, I can still go work for him whenever I want to.
So, Rodney, what's your polling history or background, or what got you doing this? I mean, was your dad a poller? Was your grandpa a poller? Did you grow up around polling? Kind of, what's your polling history?
I grew up going to a lot of truck and tractor pulls here in Illinois and have always loved them, and attended Toma, Wisconsin for several years with folks from around here and got to meet some really good people up there. And I always sat in the front row at Toma, and another photographer one day handed me his camera and said, "Here, take some pictures while I go take a little short break." And 2 weeks later, I had a camera, and the story begins, I guess.
Who was the photographer that did that?
It was Terry Allen of Allen Photography out of Michigan.
Awesome.
And I worked for him for a couple of years and decided I wanted to do things kind of a little different. I wanted to develop the live results, and that was something he didn't seem to be too much interested in. And it's turned out to be a lot of work, but I think it's something that the fans enjoy, the pullers enjoy, and I definitely enjoy doing it.
Yeah. How long ago did you start the live results now? Has it been 2 years or 3 years? I can't remember exactly.
Actually, this is the 5th year of live results.
Wow, time goes fast.
And this will be actually the 3rd year that I had to add the $20 per year for the live results fee onto it.
No, and that's still super, super cheap. So I know I subscribe to it every year, and I know many people do. And hopefully after tonight's interview, you'll get some more subscribers, because it's great. How many events do you usually do a year, Rodney?
I'm doing somewhere between myself and then my girlfriend, Julie. She is attending some events also, and I have a couple other people that do some. We'll be right at 70 events this summer. or this year, including the winter schedule, and we'll probably be pushing about 85 different nights.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I know, because I was clicking on it this weekend, and it seemed like, was there two? Where were you this last weekend? I know you're in Platte City.
I was in Platte City on Saturday night, and my girlfriend was in Warrensburg, Missouri on Saturday night, and Stephanie Merklin was covering Excalibur at Hillsboro, Missouri Saturday night. And then on Friday night, I was in Warrensburg, and Julie was in Montgomery City, Missouri, covering that pool.
Well, first of all, you take amazing pictures, and I'm one of your customers that you're doing some stuff for today, so I ordered some pictures for Brent and I, and we're going to put them up, and I'm working on the studio for the house. Right now, we're kind of camping out in the basement, in the laundry room, sharing that with my wife, Rodney, so she's kicking me out of here because the studio's starting to grow, and we're still in the dining room upstairs, so that's why I ordered some new pictures from you. We're going to hang those up in the...
They're in the mail to you.
Awesome. We're going to create that, kind of that, like the Dan Patrick Show, like that man cave kind of a thing. We haven't really thought of a name yet, but so you see a bunch of polling stuff on there, and then as we get sponsors for the show, Rodney, the goal is to hang the sponsors on there, and my buddy Ryan Rusink's going to make us a big banner, kind of like what Miles Krieger has for his road shows in the background. We can add sponsors to that, and then it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get some polling helmets and some fire suits and other nostalgia type items into the studio as time goes on. Go to poll, you'll get T-shirts and different things like that. I'm really looking forward to kind of adding to the room and kind of giving it that polling feel, Rodney.
That'll be a really good deal for you, and I'm pretty sure you have a model tractor that you purchased that will be in that studio also.
Yes, yeah, the full metal jacket will be there. Yeah, it will be there. Yeah, when my wife found how much I spent on that, she didn't quite understand, but I told her it was going to be okay. So
I don't remember, Jason. I remember nothing about that.
Perfect. Yeah, there was no photos or anything at all, so it's all good.
No.
Gordyville is a great event. I'm looking forward to that. It was funny. Actually, somebody sent a message to the Beer Money Polling Team page the other day. Rodney was like, "When is Gordyville 2017? We don't want to miss it." So I think it's the 7th. It's like right away in January this year, like 5th, 6th, and 7th. Does that sound right to you?
It is earlier in January. I can't tell you the exact dates off the top of my head.
But I know it's early. Hey, so had Jason Hill on the show last week. Became really good friends. Brandon is
really hot right before dark, and then things got fairly decent after the sun finally did go down.
So is it true they have a bar right on the fairgrounds, like a bar? Because Jason, he was texting me pictures of something. It looked like a cool little beer shanty. He said it was at the fairgrounds.
There is some type of a building. I know that they had live streaming video from the poll into there. I did not actually make it in there, but yes, it is some type of a building with a bar and everything in it, right. Kind of like a beer garden area.
Cool. Talking to Rodney Crum right now, owner of the powerandnoisephoto.com website, where you can buy tremendously awesome polling pictures of any time of the events he's been to, and of course subscribe to his $20 a year live results he mentioned earlier in this interview that covers about up to 85 nights of polling a year, or days, 70 events, multiple nights, that kind of stuff. Him and his girlfriend Julie starting to branch out a little bit, where he'll go one way, she'll go another. That's probably good for the relationship too, Rodney. She doesn't get sick of your butt. So
it's working out really well with her covering some other events, getting us a little extra coverage, and like I say, I have a couple other people. Stephanie Merklin and one of her friends will cover some Excalibur, and Roy Schluter announces for the ITPA some, and he's doing 3 or 4 events this year also for me. So,
I mean, is it something that you want to, Rodney? Do you want more people to contact you, like they can do this for you, or kind of where are you at with this mentally right now?
It's something that it is the computer itself, the program it's fairly simple. The big hang-ups and the drawbacks for the whole thing is I need somebody that is willing to sit there for the entire poll. You can't decide to take a break. It just doesn't work. I would love to have more people and be able to cover more events. The website's set up that I can cover several events on the same night with no problem, but finding the people that are willing to sit there and do it, being able to actually hear the distances correctly can sometimes be an issue, and internet connection can be another problem. I carry 2 different servers for hotspots with me, and Julie has that also. But trying to rely on a cell phone or something like that usually doesn't work. It has to be at least a tablet to a computer. So if anybody would really be interested in talking to me seriously about it, I'd be more than happy to talk with them.
Well, I think if anybody's listening to the show tonight, or they hear this interview later, it's what it does, Rodney, is it brings coverage to your polling association. At the end of the day, every promoter or every president or marketing person of a polling association or a poller, you need to do this. I mean, there's some East Coast stuff. There's a lot. I mean, there's so much state level polling, Rodney, that I don't even know about, and that's the grassroots of polling. Good state level polling, and all. We talk about the NTPA, we talk about the Champions Tour, and we talk about the Outlaws a lot, Rodney. But when you cut the pie, Rodney, that's what 20% of the polling world, maybe. There's so many other events going on, and I think,
without a doubt. Without a doubt, the state and regional organizations, as you say, are the grassroots of polling, and there's not many people that start out on the Champions Tour. They've worked their way up, and to keep the national organizations going, we definitely have to remember where we all came from, and try and promote those state and regional organizations as much as possible.
Well, that, and with polling being still very much a hobby, nobody has a full sponsorship ride or to do that. Even they're polling at the state level, at regional level, is just as good as you're probably not going to see 25 pro stocks like you will on a Champions Tour hook, or you're not going to see what's Outlaw's biggest class, you think, Rodney, that they cover. What are the big numbers they have? Like Super Farm's always big for them. I'm trying to think when I look at their results.
Yeah, the Super Farm is a fairly big class for them. The Pro Stock 4x4s is another one of their bigger classes. The 85 Limited Pro is probably, or as they call it, Light Limited Pro with the Outlaws. That's probably one of the bigger classes with a lot of organizations now. It seems to be a very popular class for people to kind of get into, and then some people have made the jump from the 85 Limited Pro on up to a Pro Stock or the 4-1 class, or there's several different options for them, but it's a really good class for them. Number-wise, it's a fun class for the fans to watch.
Hey Rodney, why do we call every class Limited Pro?
I don't know that.
We need to work on naming our classes a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of the classes do seem to have a Limited Pro in there.
Because everything, there's so many differences. You're talking about the 85 Limited Pro, which is a 466 motor, correct? With a 3x3 turbo, right? Or a 3x4, I'm not sure the exact rules.
I can't tell you all the different rules, and some of the rules do vary a little bit from organization to organization, but it is a 466 cubic inch motor in the 85 Limited Pro, and as Battersea calls it, it's their 466 hot farm.
Yep.
And like I said, the Outlaws actually call it a Light Limited Pro class. So, but there's some small differences between them, but it's not too hard for them to jump from one organization to the other either. So.
No, not at all. And I know the Grimes tractor. Is that what do they call theirs? The Grimes, Justin Grimes and Karen Grimes.
Just another buck from out in Missouri.
Yep. So I know they're doing real well with it in the Outlaws. And then did Rich Johnson win down in Platte City Saturday night?
Yes, Rich Johnson. I believe he did win on. I believe he did win on Saturday night.
The Shag Nasty tractor.
That's really hard to remember. Like I say, I do so many events and so many different classes. When everything's all over, it is hard to remember exactly what did happen.
I understand. But that's why people need to subscribe to powerandnoisephoto.com, because they can go back and look anytime. Another thing you do, when Rodney, if you just joined the interview, I'm talking to Rodney Crum, owner of powerandnoisephoto.com. You do the live results, and then when do you make them public? So for the non-subscribers, if you will, is it 48 hours?
48 hours. Anybody, the results become available to anyone after 48 hours. Up till that point, you can pay the $20 per year, and that's full 365 days, and view them as they're happening.
Awesome. And we just covered, if anybody's looking for more coverage for their polling association, Rodney's willing to talk to some people about maybe possibly branching out powerandnoisephoto.com in your neck of the woods, definitely get a hold of him through his website, powerandnoisephoto.com. Hey, Rodney, what's your cell phone number? Share that out there, too, with everybody.
Cell phone number is 309-221-1493.
Cool. So, hey, where are you heading out? What's coming up? Today's Monday, the 26th? That's today's date? 25th. Today's Monday, the 25th.
I will be covering a couple of ITPA events this week. I've got Highland, Illinois tomorrow night and Winston, Missouri on Wednesday night. And then on Thursday night, I'm going to go cover an Excalibur event at Bowling Green, Missouri. And on this weekend, I think I'm going to take the weekend off, and I'm going to go enjoy one of my other hobbies of playing poker tournaments down in Mississippi for the weekend. But I will still have some coverage going on. Stephanie Merklin will be back in Wentzville, Missouri for the Excalibur pull on Friday night, I believe, and Leroy will be in Lewiston, Illinois, covering some ITPA pulling action from there.
Awesome, Rodney. Well, cool. I love what you do for sport, Rodney. And again, you're just as passionate about it as the rest of us, and we can't still quite describe it why we just keep doing this all the time. But I think we all think this has a lot of chance to grow. And like I said, hopefully from the show you get more subscribers from this. And if you're listening to the show tonight and you see Rodney at a poll, go up and talk to him. He's a great guy. You're not the prettiest guy in the world, Rodney, but you're not the ugliest either. You know what I mean?
Well, we can't all be quite as perfect as you are, Jason. But we all have our faults. I understand that.
I love your sarcasm. It's awesome. It's awesome. No, I've had the pleasure to know you now for at least, I would say, 7 or 8 years, and you're a great guy. You do a lot for the sport. I pick on you all the time from the announcer stand because of your pretty purple shirt, and I still have my pink. I still have my pink one you got me, my Power and Noise photo shirt you got me in Unionville a couple of years ago.
You do have a pink one, and yes, I do wear the bright purple. And you are not the only one that does harass me about it, but I have broad shoulders. I can handle it.
I know you can. Otherwise, I wouldn't pick on you. Otherwise, I'd pick you. So, everybody, let's thank Rodney Crum for interviewing tonight. Rodney, great job, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.